Spoke myself a hash hole. This shit is fire. Hot boxing like a motherfucker. Come on in here. I haven't done a Q&A in a minute. What up, Dre? What's up, everybody? I'm up here in sorry ass Sacramento for the night. Got a conference to go to tomorrow for my foundation. Sometimes I be thinking I'm the president of a foundation that a lot of very important people are looking at right now, and I'll be on camera smoking weed and talking shit. I might have to clean up my act. Yeah, man. What's up, Greg Hay? What's up, American tradesman? I got a security. I feel comfortable in this hotel. I got a security patrol in the car lot. That's right. Yeah, he just called being real. Yeah, like, yeah, Sacramento, you say you love it up here? It's my first time ever actually stopping in Sacramento. Like, the only time I ever come to Sacramento is to get through Sacramento. Me and my wife, we like spending time up there in Mount Shasta. And so I've been to Mount Shasta more than I've been to Sacramento. I don't give a fuck about no goddamn Sacramento. Sacramento. I don't fuck the Kings, Vlade Divac. Nigga, I don't give a shit about Chris Webber. I don't give a shit about Doug Christie, Rick Gattelman, De'Aaron Fox, Governor Gavin Newsom. See, it's the Laker in me that made me be like, man, fuck Sacramento. Because, you know, the playoffs, when we was whooping y'all ass every year. Fuck Mike Bibby. You know, these are the only times I get to be a Laker. You know, when LeBron is playing, I can't be a Laker because I can't support corny shit. Yeah, recipes again to Black Voltron. That still got me, you know, I'm gonna miss Black Voltron because I never got a chance to excuse me. This asshole. We never got a chance to sit down and break bread, you know. I was planning on breaking bread with Black Voltron next month at the Hidden History Museum. And we just talked about that last week. Now he gone, man. Rest in peace. Hey, whoever that is, name notification mods, kick that motherfucker out of here. Yeah, rest in power, Black Voltron, man. That hurt. I'm not gonna be here long because I'm over here. I'm smoking some knockout right here, and this is this is from my man Mac Measy. He made this hash hole. I would do a show in Boston if I can get enough people to pay to come out. Of course I would do. I would do a show anywhere if I can get people to come out. But right now, I'm not really in throwing my own show mode. I got a lot. I'm working on some real good deals and some business with my foundation, the Black American Music Family Tree Historical Foundation. If you want to donate, let me know. You will get a tax write-off because I am a fully certified foundation. So I'm up here at a conference with other foundations that have similar goals and interests, and we over here networking. So I'm kind of working that angle right now. I got so many goddamn different things that I do. I got something I'm gonna say to y'all young folks. Like Evan, you young. Make sure you stay the course, you know? Follow your dreams and goals. Follow your instincts, most of all. Fuck a dream, follow the instincts. You might dream one thing, but your instincts say go somewhere different. Follow those instincts, okay? And also know that some of y'all feel like you may be at a dead end job. If that's you, you feel like, okay, I'm not making enough money doing what I'm doing, I'm stuck here. It's a reason why you are where you are in life, okay? And if you are where you are at a particular job or whatever, that's because there's something for you to learn. There's something for you to pick up that's going to help you grow and be better in the long run. Let me give you an example. This time 10 years ago, I was actively fighting depression, coming out of it. I was working at Hathaway Sycamores with those kids. I wasn't getting paid shit. You know, I got a degree. The shit ain't working like I thought it would. I just stopped applying for jobs because no one was hiring at DwannBrown, and I was just fucked up. You know what I mean? I was fucked up, and I wasn't where. And a lot of that fucked up was really not where I wanted to be in life. You know, wasn't where I wanted to be in life, and when you're not where you want to be in life, that could really get a hold of you. That can really, get you down. You know. And all of you trolls, y'all need to listen too. Trolls. Keep trolling, but listen to me too, because if you're here trolling, that means you probably a product of incest, which means your parents didn't love you. So let me give you a loving message if you're here trolling, because you were obviously raised by something that didn't love you. You probably were abandoned. So you trolls really need to listen to this message. When What's up, Kermit? I ain't seen Kermit up here in a minute. What's up, Shayla? And but so what happens is you may be at a job and that job you're just there. Understand this. If you play your cards right, where you are right now in life is going to be what undergirds you for whatever big moves you make. And I'm speaking to those who dream big, and not only dream big, actively pursue your dreams. Some niggas dream big and then go right back to playing video games and jacking off on Pornhub. I mean, okay, you when you done jacking off on Pornhub, nigga, make sure you do something at least 5 days a week that's pushing you towards that inner desire that you have. And understand that where you're working right now, where you are in life, is going to be the experience you need to undergird you as you make the bigger moves that you plan on making. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Let me see here. Let me help you out, Miles. Let me help you out, Shayla. Let me see. Participant, subscribers. That'll cut down on the trolls. There we go. So let me give you an example. Part of the reason I'm up here in Sacramento for is there's a particular conference I'm going to with someone that is really has a really nice big foundation, multi $1 million foundation, and I was connected through a business partner to these people, and I just started my foundation, so I need to know. I don't know what the fuck to do, you know. All I want to do is help. Like my only goal for my foundation is to spread Black culture, you know, our through music, teach the history of music and Black culture through that's all I want to do. All the rest of this shit, I don't know how to do, man. I just started my foundation in January. I don't know how to do this shit. But somebody who I had a meeting with a few weeks ago who really likes what I do, we're going to start working together with our foundations. This is the person that if I were to name drop, they know everybody in entertainment, sports, most of all, business, located right here at the state capitol, politically connected, all that shit. Everybody's trying to get at these people. There's this conference that I was invited to. What got me here was a conversation when we had the meeting, and I was talking to this person about my years. You know, I wouldn't necessarily talk to them directly about what I did working at my last job, but I was talking about the need that's in the inner city, the need for Black children, especially the menticide that Black children go through, the IEP problems that Black children go through, all of this stuff. And I was like, man, I wish I had a foundation like yours around when I worked with them kids. I would have been sending you kids all day, every day, because I had a bunch of them. The issue was every time you would see a nonprofit, within 2 or 3 years, that nonprofit's gone because they come and get some grant money. They have a dope first year, second year, and by the third year, they're either gone or their budget's been so extremely cut. It's nothing. The thing is a shell of what it used to be. But I said all to say that it was my experience working a job that sent me to depression. It was my experience working a job that didn't pay me shit. That my heart was in that last job. I did it because of my heart. The money wasn't shit. I drove Uber and did stand-up comedy on the side. Luckily, I'm a funny motherfucker, so on the weekends I can make money doing comedy, and if I wasn't doing comedy, I would drive Uber. So so I still made a decent living. And I'm a hustler. I don't mind doing 5 things at once. I'm a hustler. You know, I manage apartment buildings and all that stuff. But that job, you know, being that you could be somewhere because your heart wants you there, but that shit is sending you through some motherfucking pain. And that last job sent me through pain. And I was at the bottom of my depression in 2015. That was like the maximum. That was like the maximum era of my depression. That's when I wrote in therapy. And then I started really understanding things better. And I've improved myself a lot. But I said all that to say that extremely frustrating experience, that job that I felt like was going nowhere, that turmoil and bullshit that I was in, when I met with somebody who can help me grow and is going to help mentor me in this new venture that I'm in, I met somebody who's like won they won like foundation of the year because of how this foundation's been running for like 20 years. Most of these motherfuckers is out of here within 3. And it's like, but it was me being able to speak from experience. See, people get bullshit all day, especially people like the people I'm working with. They get bullshit all day. You know, especially when you work with kids on the level that I have and work with, you know if you're talking to somebody genuine within 20 seconds. And it was my experience at that dead end job that had me in depression, that prepared me for when I got in front of the right people, I was able to hit a home run. These people don't know I'm on YouTube. These people don't know shit about, you know, they know I do comedy, but they they may be on a straight up business tip. No entertainment shit. It's just straight up business tip. And so that's why I'm saying, like, whatever you're going through, if you had a dead end job, if you're somewhere you don't want to be, if shit's frustrating, what you need to do is sit down and ask yourself. Let me give you some solutions. If this is you, I'm not reading the chat right now. Because I'm channeling right now. I'll read the chat when I'm done with this channel. This is what I want you to do. If this is you, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, why am I where I am right now? If you where you are right now, you're not frustrated. First off, ask yourself, why are you here? And don't rush for an answer. Sometimes the answer may come right away. Sometimes the answer may come in a day or two. But vacillate on that. Why am I here? Because you have a reason you're wherever you are in life. There's something you didn't learn. There's something you need to learn. There's an experience you need to have. And that experience may be coming your way, but you're so depressed and looking down and looking in some other direction, mad, you don't embrace the experience. So what you do first is you ask yourself, why are you here? Why am I in this frustrating experience? Why do I keep coming back? You're going to start to see some patterns that you've developed that put you in a particular place. The next thing you do is you ask, what do I need to do to get out of this situation? Write it down. What do I like? Ask spirit. Ask your spirit. This is what you ask yourself. This is when you wake up in the morning or go to bed at night, turn on some McCoy Turner or turn on some Alice Coltrane, some Brandy Younger, and let the melody sort of flow through and allow these answers to come to you. And then from there, you create a game plan on how to get out of it. Let me give you guys another tip. ChatGPT is great at helping you with a 10-step. You have a goal. Okay, just say you have a goal that you want to create. You're a janitor at work, but you want your own janitorial service or your own, I don't know, floor cleaning service, whatever it is you want. All right, cool. Go on ChatGPT, nigga. Go to AI. This is what I want to do. Help create 10 steps. Help create steps for me to get there. What are steps that I can go find some websites? If you want to do a particular thing and you see another company doing what you want to do, find 3 or 4 companies that do what you want to do. Read their website, see how they do it, study their pricing, study their advertisement methods. And everything I'm telling you right now, I did this shit before AI was around. This is something I did before AI. I'm saying use AI. If AI was around when I did this shit for myself, I promise you I would have used it. But use ChatGPT or whatever AI service you use to create a plan. Don't be scared of that shit. You know, whatever has bad intentions also has good is good. Nothing is completely one thing. AI is not completely bad. It's just as good as it is bad. It comes down to however you use it. And then once you get some steps on how to get out of that, then you spend, if you could go to work 5 days a week, you can spend 5 days a week doing something towards that goal. I don't care if it's just writing 2 words in your business plan every day. Just make sure today you're further than you were yesterday. One thing that really helped me get my shit in order was right before Kobe died. Kobe had an interview with on the Knuckleheads podcast with Darius Miles and Quentin Richardson. And they asked Kobe, "You tore your Achilles." They were like, "Why did you just retire? Why did you just give it up?" And he said, Kobe said, because I always judge what I'm doing right. Whatever activity I'm doing in the moment, I ask myself in a year, will this activity be beneficial to me? And Kobe said, when he's in meditation, go look up that interview. He said he knew in a year, if he wasn't playing basketball, if he let that injury take him out, he would hate himself forever. So what he did was, when he rehabbed from that Achilles injury, Kobe said he took it one day at a time. He said every morning he would wake up to repair his injury. He'd ask it when he didn't want to get up, when it was too painful, when it was too much. He asked himself, where in a year where will I be in the year if I do this versus that? And Kobe said, if I just every day I woke up, I did something to repair my injury and get back on the court, in a year I'll get there. I'm not there now, but in a year I'll be there. And that interview was December 2019, right before the pandemic. And that's when I decided, you know what? I really got to get, by that point, I had left my last job. I left there in March 2019. And I was running my business, but it was still kind of going like, yeah. Business was like, yeah, you know? I was getting some of that unemployment, so I was kind of just being a little bit lazy. I was on unemployment. And then I heard that. I'm like, man, this unemployment ain't gonna be here forever. You know, and then that was December 2019. I started my podcast. I've been wanting to podcast since 2010, and I would just hit, me and Larry would do like 2 shows and then do no more shows for like a year. Look at this channel. I have all that old shit up. You'll see old videos of me and Larry from like 2012, and then no video again to like 2014, and then like another video in 2016. But I thought about what Kobe said. So June 2020, I said, okay, I'm gonna take YouTube serious, and then I'm gonna take I created incense and ashtrays after that, and then I started taking it more serious and just chopping at the tree. I don't know why I'm saying this, because this was not the reason why I came live. I came live to ask y'all questions, but somebody needs to hear this. I don't know what I'm saying it because this is what my goddamn spirit telling me to say. So I said that to say, faith without works is dead. It's one thing to, say get quiet, and because the first part is getting quiet and ask yourself, why are you here? The second part is, okay, what do I need to do to get out this rut? The third step is to create a game plan. The fourth step is to initiate the game plan. You got to wake up every day and do something. I mean, just something. Something. And then it starts to become a habit. And then it just starts to become a way of life. And then as it becomes a way of life, you meet people. You make your spirit say go left, you go left, and then you run into the person you was gonna need to help you. You know, you see left, you like, man, the bridge ran out. I mean, it's a river right there with no bridge. Your spirit say go left, and you be like, I don't want to go left. I see a river. There ain't no bridge. I can just keep going straight. Your spirit say go left, and you be like, nah, and because you see the river, and then you be like, all right, fuck it. Your spirit say go left, then you go left. Then you go left and you go full speed. Then right when you get to the river, you see a motherfucking boat sitting right there. That boat was waiting for you the whole time. Now, you couldn't see the boat when you was going straight. That's what they mean by walk by faith, not by sight in the Bible. Y'all know I don't do that Christian shit. I used to be one. I still love the Lord, you know what I mean? If you're a Muslim, I believe all the religions are beautiful if you apply them correctly. So walking by faith, not by sight means, okay, I see a left-hand turn. Let me make that left. And then you make that left, and it's a motherfucking boat sitting right there. And your monkey ass would have missed the boat walking by sight. Kendall's in here. What's up, Kendall? Kendall was a huge help for my progress. Because right when I was ready, it was like right when I was ready to really go to the next level with a lot of my shit, I met Kendall. Like, King Simon was like, hey, I know somebody, she'd be great. Because I go to King Simon for numerology readings. And then King Simon introduced me to Kendall, but when that happened, it was right when I needed it, when I needed her hypnotherapy. And there were certain hangups that I had been working on for like decades, dog. I mean, for real, for real. And 3 sessions with Kendall, the first session got me like 70% of the way. The second session was kind of like, it was progress, but you get so much progress in the first session. The second session is just cleaning up more. But by that third session, man, I had crazy hangups, dog. I look back on where I was in 2021. I'm like, man, I was hung up on that. I'd be like, that was my hang up? Shit. I was hung up on that shit for 20 years. One session with Kendall, that shit was gone. And so I had to, but that's what working on yourself. But a lot of people confuse working on yourself with laziness. They be like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything because I'm working on myself. No, nigga, you work on yourself and you go out there and get it. Both at the same time. Because you're never done working on yourself. You're never gonna be done working on yourself. Like, nigga, you're never gonna be done working on yourself. I got people in their 70s that come to me for readings. You dig? Like Needy Footer says, still learning. And it was that. It's the act of, you gotta work. You gotta work. You can't just be like, oh, the Spirit of the Lord. Oh, Jesus is gonna come and do it. Oh, my, or whatever the fuck goddamn language you speak. Like, what they say, the Muslims, I don't know much about the Muslims. Only I know about how Muslims pray is when I watch Malcolm X. Rahim. Radio Rahim. That scene on Malcolm X when he was in Mecca, that's the only time I ever heard. My Muslim homies never prayed around me, so that's all I know. No disrespect, I'm just silly, y'all. If you're a Muslim, I'm not disrespecting you, but if the Christians could take my shit, y'all can too. Appreciate that, Vi Murph. That's a good question. I'm just looking down the chat. What's up, Sam Leaf? Uh, they said I first saw me on Craig Facts during the pandemic. Did that exposure? Yeah, did. You know, Craig Facts was a good time in my life. You know what I mean? Like I know I keep saying I won't go back, and people who've been around this channel for a long time, y'all know why I left. But it's nothing I want to keep bringing up because you know life goes on. But no, Craig Facts was a beautiful time. During the pandemic, during the pandemic twice a week. You gotta realize the studio for Craig Facts was it was exactly 39 miles from home. So I basically was going 40 miles each way in rush hour traffic, okay? But it was worth it because we had a lot of fun. I met some dope people. You know what I mean? You know, certain people, certain situations happened, you know what I mean? But all experiences work out for the positive if you let it. So even the stuff that made me mad in 2023, whatever, when that shit stopped, 2022, I forgot what year, 22, 23, whatever year that was, we stopped. I get them confused. I've long since gotten over that shit. I don't hold no bitterness, no anger. You know what I mean? It was a fun time. Met some people who still follow me from that show. I remember I met Jay Jimerson for the first time. We did a Craig Facts Live in Austin. And as soon as we come down from the green room, there's some skinny little niggas off to the left clapping like, come on, Craig. And he knew all of our names. He like, what's up, Show? What's up, Blaze? What's up, Dwann? I'm like, who this nigga? And I was like, but his energy, Jay Jimerson was hella positive, you know. I'm never going to forget that. You know, Jay Jimerson came to my first show that I did with me and Larry. And he was at the museum this past weekend. That come from Craig Facts, man. That's some beautiful shit. You know? And I wasn't gonna do no fuck shit just because I let the show be like, man, don't watch. Man, look, Jay Jimerson still watch. A lot of y'all still watch Craig Facts. I'll be like, man, keep watching. Don't stop watching. I told people flat out, don't stop watching because I left, nigga. I ain't on that jealousy shit. It's enough room for everybody. It's enough room for everybody. Real talk, Spike Stein. But I don't know. I kind of went off on a tangent, but like my spirit told me to tell y'all that. Maybe that's why I went live, because I wasn't planning on going live. My stomach was cramping like a motherfucker when I got here to Sacramento. On a salute to Star. One of my mods, Star, on the way up. I stopped in. Star got me this Count Basie and Duke Ellington album. I said, "What's up?" I stopped. You know, so salute to Star. I doubt she's in here. But yeah, just it was dope. And so, but yeah, it's a 6-hour drive to Sacramento. But I left LA at like 11:30, so I still was dealing with rush Friday LA traffic. It was there are hardly no times on this drive today that I had open space. Because when you come through the 99, you come through a bunch of cities. The 99 freeway is like the breadbasket of California, really the breadbasket of the United States. Because so much is grown here in the San Joaquin Valley. So you go through Bakersfield, then you go through Delano, then you go through Fresno, Merced, a whole bunch of cities. And it seemed like I caught every city's rush hour on the way up here. So that shit would be a 6-hour drive ended up being like a 7.5-hour drive. If I see it too, yeah, all that shit. So yeah, I got up here, but I'm here because I heard about it. Like when I got invited to this conference, and come hell or high water, I was gonna be here. I wanted to fly up. The goal was to do a same day turnaround fly up, but the conference is so early in the morning, I couldn't get any flights that will get me here in time. And I like to drive. I love driving. And I ain't did a solo dolo trip in a minute, because I always got my wife with me. But I can't smoke in the car when I'm with the wife. My wife is with me 99.9% of the time. But I can't smoke in the car when I'm with her. So today was dolo. And you know what I was doing. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I passed by where that helicopter crash was. See, American tradesmen, I usually go 5 because I like the space. The 5 gives me more space. But you are right. The 99 is a lot more stops. It's almost like you're driving through city for the whole 6 hours. You're on the road when you go to 99. I like driving in when it gets rural, when it's just open spaces. Like say you're in Fresno now. Yeah, this is my first time going through Fresno. Emmer said and all that. The furthest I'd ever gone up to 99 was Bakersfield, do some comedy. No, Delano. And then I went to Allensworth to go visit Allensworth, that black town that's up off the 99. I went there. That's the furthest I've ever gone to 99. Usually when I come to Northern California, I either go to 101 up the coast, the 5 if I really want to get there, and if I'm going like to Tahoe, I take 395. 395 is one of the most beautiful drives you'll ever have. I'm telling y'all right now, if you're in California, people talk shit about like, okay, y'all think California is LA and San Francisco. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. California is nature. California is Sequoia National Park. It's Yosemite. It's Mount Shasta. It's Eureka. It's Greenville, Hillsburg. It's the Central Wine Coast. It's Carmel, California. It's Monterey Bay. That's California. Yeah, hit the like button. Yeah, Calvin Digger said I was on 5150 a few years ago. Nah, at least 2 or 3 times a year. Me and my wife got to go hit nature. You got the desert. But when you take California Highway 395 from LA to Bishop, it's 4 hours. Once you get to Bishop, between Bishop, California, and just before you make that turn off to go into Lake Tahoe, you got about a 3.5 hour, about a 4 hour ride of just beautiful scenery. You see the backside of the sequoias. You see Mono Lake. And then there's this one part on 395. If you look to your left, if you're going north, if you look to your left, you see the highest point in the United States. And if you look to your right, you see the lowest point in the United States. That's how beautiful California is. The highest point in the United States and the lowest point in the United States is like 90 miles apart. And you see like there's winding river that whole ride, man. I love that shit. I stopped, got a water bottle, got some of that fresh water, nigga. You come to California for the nature. Fuck these cities. the drive from Cali to Texas, it is. I like the 40. I take the 40 over the 10 when I go to Texas. I do the 40 over the 10. Although the 10 through New Mexico is beautiful. The 40 is beautiful, Arizona and New Mexico. Oh, where'd you get that spring water in Ojai, Brian? I love going to Ojai. Shit, me and my wife, matter of fact, we got a wine pickup at a Bocali Vineyards. There's a vineyard in Ojai that we're members of. It's like an Italian restaurant in the vineyard. It's called Bocali Vineyards. I love that shit. They got like 3 pickups I gotta go get. Hey, Brad, tell me where that spring was. Cause I fucks with Ojai. I'll be going to Ojai sometime in the next couple weeks to pick up my wine. Oh, findthespring.com? Okay, thanks. I don't mind hiking. Hiking fun. As long as they near no cliff. I don't hike up cliffs though. I don't do cliffs. I get nervous when I'm near cliffs. But I hike on the trail. As long as that trail ain't on no goddamn cliff, we good. That's why I like going to Mount Shasta. There's a few waterfalls near Mount Shasta. First, I like going to Shasta Lake. And then I like going to Mixcloud Falls. It's right there near Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is magical. Told y'all the only time I've ever been to Sacramento was to stop at that Costco gas station to get me to Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is beautiful. That snow-capped volcano, and it's very energetic as far as spiritually. It's a very spiritually rich area to be in, Mount Shasta. You see, when last time I listened to the Goody Mob, that's a good question, Scotty Too Hottie. Matter of fact, it's been about I saw the Goody Mob in concert back in June. So, but last time I popped in, it's probably been about a good year. Yeah, it's time for me to put in some Goody Mob. Now, I might bump that shit on the way back home to LA tomorrow. Yeah, Mount Shasta is beautiful. It is beautiful. Like black folks, we gotta connect with nature, man. We're nature people. We are the people of the earth, man. All of our instruments are from the earth. That's why they go so hard with these electric instruments. Electric instruments remove you from earth. Not just electric, tell it back, not because they're like electric bass, electric guitar. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when you start to get into electric drums, because drums represent the earth element. When you start getting into 808s, and I'm not dissing 808s, but when you get away from a human playing that bass, when you get away from natural trumpets and you go to keyboard trumpets, all that stuff removes us from earth. You want to listen to some good acoustic music sometimes, some natural singing, no auto-tune. Listen to some Ella Fitzgerald. Ella Fitzgerald got an album with Duke Ellington. Listen to that album. I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank. But on Spotify, they got a volume with her and Duke Ellington. Listen to that album, Ella Fitzgerald and Duke Ellington. Listen to, some Art Tatum and some Roy Ayers, some natural shit. That's how you decompress from all this bullshit ass stress. What's good? That's how you decompress, man. That's one way to decompress. Like they always say meditate. And I meditate quietly. Oh shit. I do quiet meditation sometimes, nothing wrong with it. But overall, quiet meditation don't really work for me. I got to do music, And I don't listen to them old doofus ass meditation YouTube mixes. Most of that shit is crap. I meditate. And all meditation is just getting quiet, letting your mind relax. I meditate to Alice Coltrane. And Sambo's good. What's up, Bruce? Sambos are great. Wind chimes. I don't really get into the Hertz thing. A lot of people do. I don't understand Hertz that well. But I do understand music that emotionally connects to me. Live instruments. Herbie Hancock, the song called Bubbles. I have some meditations on my Patreon. I have a look. If you're on my Patreon, I have a meditation playlist. This music you can get quiet to. Some Donald Byrd. See, black people, can I tell it to y'all straight? And I'm not here to, let me first off say this. This isn't me preaching. This isn't me acting like some fucking guru who's always known this. Something I had to kind of vacillate on and think about and meditate and evolve to. The start I'm about to give you. So please don't take it as me talking down to anybody, because I understand. But that meditation music stuff that they put up on YouTube, where it's just these different sounds, if you genuinely feel that, then go ahead and listen to it. But in my experience, most people don't. They just listen to that shit because that's what is in the algorithm for meditation and stuff. You want your music that you meditate and relax to be music that you absolutely love. I meditate to Stevie Wonder. I was meditating to Summer Soft the other day. Summer Soft, nothing like a kiss to start the morning off. Excuse my singing. But that song came on, and you gotta meditate for a long time. You ain't talking about no 2 hours of hum diddly dum ding, none of that bullshit. What's up, Ebony? I'm talking about that song Summer Soft by Stevie Wonder is like 4.5 minutes. It's just when that song came on, I stopped it. I was at my computer working. I stopped working, and for 4 minutes, I just allowed those key changes, those chord progressions that Stevie was playing to vibrate through me for like 4.5 minutes. And then when that song was over, I got back to doing what I do. It's really simple. It's really simple. Hey, yeah, Donald Byrd, anything produced by the Mizell brothers. One person I've been sort of just really chill and relaxing to. I almost said chillax. I hate people that say chillax. If somebody say chillax around me, I want to slap them. And I almost said that bullshit. Dwann, slap myself real quick for almost saying chillax. Get that corny shit out of here, Dwann. Anyway. Johnny Hammond Smith. Man, thank me later. Y'all know I play the song Can't We Smile. And a song called Lost on 23rd Street. I mean, Johnny Hammond Smith, boy. That is some soulful. I mean, that shit just so goddamn soul. He got so much goddamn soul. So we gotta realize what's up, Brooke. This is what, look, black people, this is the reason I'm bringing this up. We are the people of soul. So we're gonna be the most productive in that time with our music, with the most soulful music. Yeah, the album Gears is another good one. All of Johnny Hammond Smith's albums are good. The Crusaders. The Crusaders got a song, Message from the Ghetto. I love that song. They hide our music. All this music that I'm telling you about, Johnny Hammond, not Hemming in Gen Radio, Hammond, like a Hammond B3 organ, Johnny Hammond Smith. You've heard all of their music sampled all throughout hip hop. You've heard it sampled in house. You've heard it sampled in pop. That era of the 70s when we were at our maximum soul, it still lives through music today. But when you go to that soul era, the 70s was the zenith of black music because everything was hitting. Not just the pop shit. The jazz was hitting. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. I got a motion detection. I had to check on that shit. But yeah, look up the producers, the Mizell brothers. They're out of LA. LA doesn't get enough credit for its soulful sound. Like the neo soul sound, although neo soul was birthed in Philadelphia, based on the samples that they used, mostly it's an LA sound. Because most people don't know who the Mizell brothers are. But the Mizell brothers were the producers behind a lot of that Donald Byrd stuff, Johnny Hammond Smith, hell, even some of the Jackson 5. And a lot of your neo soul samples are really Johnny Hammond Smith. I mean, it's a lot of that's Mizell brother production. A lot of your neo soul samples is, and then another person that's really big in the neo soul sound is Roy Ayers. Roy Ayers is from LA. Bobby Humphrey's the Mizell brothers produced for Bobby Humphrey, and for Roy Ayers, and for the Blackbirds, and for Donald Byrd. If you don't know these names, you stupid motherfucker, you grab a pen and a pad and you write it down and learn something. Him all along, okay? I'm not here to give you names that you know. The names that you know ain't give you. The names that you know, Bruno Mars, Drake, NBA Youngboy, they ain't giving you shit. So I'm pointing you to the direction of the artists that are giving it to you. And you're already familiar with their music because no matter who you listen to, they sample these guys and gals. I know I'm not giving you names that you know. That's the whole point. Our best music is black people. Where my weed go? Here we go. Our best music isn't sung. I was looking through my iTunes the other day, and just go through your iTunes and look at the categories. They got pop, K-pop, J-pop, Latin. They got all the diversity sounds, but when it comes to black music, they have funk and soul in the same mix. Huh? There's way too much soul music to share a category with funk. There's way too much funk to share a category with soul. They really box our shit in. And then these artists I'm telling you about, like Johnny Hammond Smith and Joe Sample and George Duke and all of these. George Duke's another one to sit back and listen to. So soulful. The Crusaders and the Headhunters and anything Herbie Hancock and the acid jazz era. That's a chapter I'm writing in my book right now. The acid jazz era. They omit these names from the ledger, but their music stays getting sampled. Music cannot survive, and I ain't talking about just hip hop. I'm talking about Taylor Swift. I'm talking about The Weeknd. I'm talking about Party Next Door, Drake. Really Afro beats. And a lot of your new reggae. It's just so heavily sampled. A lot of reggae, I mean, it's around the world, y'all. I listen to music around the world. I was listening to some white boy the other day. I forgot his name. It was a groovy song. The song was groovy. And then I listened. I said, that's the drums and the bass from Love Will Find a Way by Lionel Richie. And I told my wife, man, you better make sure your dad getting paid off this shit. This white boy it was a smooth, the song was hella smooth. But then when I listened closer, I was like, that's Love Will Find a Way by Lionel Richie. That's why it's so smooth. They stay sampling Ricky Lawson drum Earl James Gaston. People don't even know who James Gaston and Ricky Lawson are. Rest in peace, Ricky Lawson. James Gaston still cooking. Earl Young, Bernard Purdy. These drums are getting played every single day now. Yeah, Weldon Irvine is another good one. Bernard Wright. Dexter Wansel. Yeah, Herbie Hancock's a great go-to meditation. Appreciate that him all along. But a Lil Jon and Crunk, I'm not. I did the Crunk era I lived through. I didn't really study it, so I don't know. I thought Lil Jon, but I'm not gonna sit there and say I studied the Crunk era. I know a little bit about it, but Crunk era was cool. That was like the last party era. Yeah, Michael Henderson. There's so many. And then on the soul side of the game, sometimes I just want to listen to some soul. The Ebonies, the Dramatics, that deep soul. The Delphonics, the Shy Lights, the Dells. Oh, what a night. I gotta listen to some Enchantment. I Love Enchantment. The 5 Stair Steps. Yeah, the Temprees. Yeah, Black Ivory. Time will show you love. Love is what you make it. Love has a selfish clause. That's some great ass motherfucking lyrics. Black Ivory. I love that. I got Smokey and the Miracles. Man, sometimes y'all, a lot of y'all stop with Quiet Storm, or if y'all listen to Miracles, y'all listen to the shit like the radio shit. When I listen to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, I don't really listen to Shop Around and You Really Got a Hold on Me. Those are the great popular songs. They were great. But I listen to Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Songs like Fork in the Road, Beware, Danger's There. Man, listen to this lyric by Smokey. He says, it seems like, this is the opening lyric to that song. Seems like love should be easier to bear, but it's such a heavy load. Worldwide travelers, you ain't gone nowhere until you travel down love's road. That opening line is cold. That's what he tells to lovers. And then he introduces himself. Then he says, although I may be just a stranger, lovers, let me warn you, there's a danger at the fork in love's road. Can you think of any better poetry than that when it comes to talking about the dangers of love? Love is dangerous. That's why you got all these bitter ass niggas on the internet thinking that they got a YouTube channel saying, yeah, you can't trust women and women this and women that and whatever. Because them niggas got their heart broke. Love is dangerous than the motherfucker. But if you stay true to it, you can open up your world, and when you match with somebody that can take you all the way to a whole nother level, or they can teach you a lesson that can help you ascend to that next level, and you get it right the next time. The point is to keep your heart open. But most people don't keep their heart open. They start YouTube channels. No, they start YouTube channels. And so, what's up, Reggie? No, I didn't do the tincture. I did I just did one of those gummies. And that shit had me right. I did one of those gummies, Reggie. I think I'm gonna do the tincture tomorrow for the drive home. You dig? But that's Smokey. Smokey, I mean, the Isley Brothers, you know. The Isley Brothers had songs for love and situations. Like, sometimes I gotta listen to the Isley Brothers, you know, and just, girl, you all I need. You can vamp that shit for like 5 minutes, and all they say is, girl, you all I need. And they vamp that shit for like 4 minutes. And you mad that that part isn't 4 minutes longer. Am I lying? When the Isley Brothers vamp, girl, you all I need, that vamp goes on for like 3.5, 4 minutes. And when it's over, you could listen to that vamp again for another 3.5, 4 minutes. That's how good it is. I was listening to Main Ingredient rolling down a mountainside earlier. It's funny. I was coming down the Grapevine, which is a mountainside, when that song came on my iTunes earlier, Archangel. Songs like Stevie Wonder's Mary Wants to Be a Superwoman. That song Superwoman by I love those long songs that have two parts. Like Zoom. I'll I'll fly away. But when you go back to Stevie Wonder Superwoman, when you get to that bridge and then that second part of the song, man, that should take me there every time. Yeah, Love's Train by by the Confunction. Yeah. Like that era is when all the heart and the soul was in our music. And we got to connect to that. And black people have to connect to like either the jazz or blues. Those are our root forms of music. We gotta own jazz and blues. You may not like both, but you connect in some way, Really with jazz, like the niggas don't even understand. Like over in China and like Japan, especially in Japan, I learned this back in like 2005. In Japan, they meditate to Coltrane. Like they have their kids listen to Coltrane before class and Miles Davis. And they use Miles Davis and Coltrane to relax their children's minds. And Freddie Hubbard and McCoy Tyner and Art Tatum and our legends that we have here in America that we tend to ignore. Can I say that again? The rest of the world uses our legends, and those legends made that music for us. There's a reason why jazz is the American classical. One thing I give white folks credit for, they will not let classical go. The country funds endowments that make classical music and chamber music stay alive. They're gonna, even though that music was invented by black Moors in Europe, it's still the music that's familiar with their ancestral heritage. Well, jazz is that for us. It's our native music. We have current jazz acts Kamasi Washington, Ryan Porter, Brendan Coleman. Brendan Coleman does more R&B stuff, but him on the keyboards with Kamasi is amazing. We have Brandy Younger. My favorite rest in peace of this post-90 generation is Roy Hargrove. Rest in peace, Roy Hargrove. He died young. Damn, he died. I never got to see Roy Hargrove live. But Roy Hargrove, oh my God. Get into some Roy Hargrove. Roy Hargrove is the true link between hip-hop and jazz. Roy Hargrove is hip-hop's first jazz son. The first son that jazz and hip-hop had together was Roy Hargrove, because he was genuinely jazz and he was genuinely hip-hop. Roy Hargrove did an album with Oscar Peterson, for God's sakes. The God, Oscar Peterson. I love Oscar Peterson. Love Oscar Peterson. And that's Roy Hargrove on a lot of stuff with Common. He did a lot of stuff with Kanye, Common, with the Soulquarian sound, the neo soul sound. Roy Hargrove was like the link between R&B, neo soul, and hip hop. He really was the first son of that. Yeah, Joseph Lineberg. His newest album was up for a Grammy. Joseph Lineberg's another great one. So you got different eras of jazz, you know? Ooh, this hash show is almost done. Oh, Human, you said listening to All in All on shrooms? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All in All on shrooms? My God. And if you're on my Patreon, I have playlists of all these. I have a jazz playlist. I got a meditation music playlist. I got a funk playlist. A 70s R&B playlist. I got a lot of playlists that tell you exactly where you need to go on Patreon. But if you just get into jazz, you can never go wrong with Miles Davis. Miles Davis, you can really anything Miles. Maybe not Bitches Brew. Bitches Brew might be a little bit too out there. But the Miles Davis cool jazz or modal era. You know, Porgy and Bess. That album. I'm drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank to because I'm high as fuck right now, so I'm drawing a blank. But Miles Davis would be a great start. McCoy Tyner. What's his name? Ahmad Jamal. Ahmad Jamal. If you want current acts, Kamasi Washington. If you want more modern, Roy Hargrove. Those are all great to start with. They're all great to start with. I have on my Patreon, I have groups, and there's a playlist group. All my playlists are like in one little group on the Patreon. If I was on my computer, I'd show you how to do it, but I'm on my phone. Yeah, Butcher Brown's another good one. I saw Butcher Brown live a few years ago. It was Butcher Brown with Ronnie Laws. That shit was amazing. And it was like all these, and I was just so proud because it was like all these cats in their 20s and 30s that were there to see Butcher Brown, really Ronnie Laws. It was like all a bunch of like Asians and shit and Mexicans and whites. They're like, when Ronnie Laws was on stage, they're like, Ronnie. I'm like, there was some black kids in that too, but it was just dope to see. But Butcher Brown, they were the backing band for Ronnie Laws. They opened the show up, and then when Ronnie Laws came on stage, they backed him. And they did their motherfucking thing. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, check out the playlist on Patreon. You can get a playlist on any tier. And I update the playlist about once. I update the playlist about once a month. Yeah, Hubert Laws too. He's the oldest brother. Do you know? Have you ever heard that song "Daydreaming" by Aretha Franklin? Do you know that on the song "Daydreaming," when you hear the flute, that's Hubert Laws. That's Hubert Laws on Daydreaming. Ronnie Laws was with Earth and Fire, their early albums, Last Days in Time, I think Ronnie Law's last album was Head to the Sky. Was it Head to the Sky? And then the song In the Need of Love, the album In the Need of Love, that song, Think About Loving You. Ronnie Law was with Earth and Fire back then. Oh yeah, Pharoah Sanders. Pharoah Sanders isn't for the novice jazz listener. If someone's just getting into jazz, I wouldn't give them Pharoah Sanders. Or Sun Ra. Pharoah Sanders and Sun Ra are more when you, because especially Sun Ra, he was exploring like a motherfucker. That's when you really into it, because that's very exploratory music, Sun Ra. And a lot of your Pharoah Sanders stuff. That's for somebody. That's when you get into intermediate jazz lovers. When people get past, when people get to the point where they're like, okay, I've been listening to jazz for a little bit, I like it, and they want to go to another level, then you introduce them to Sun Ra or Pharoah Sanders. You said Trackstar Podcast? I never heard of them. I do another podcast. This is some knockout. Trouble, man, yeah. Yep. All right, cool. Yeah, I love Felipe Wynn too. I love Felipe Wynn with the spinners and with Funkadelic. I like Felipe Wynn both. That was Felipe Wynn on Not Just Knee Deep. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-bum, bum, ba-dow. Somebody said, if I seen the movie Friday. I live in the neighborhood Friday was filmed in. That liquor store, that Zelle, said my neck and my back. That's where I go when I need to. That shit still look exactly the same way it did back then too. Yeah. Let's see. I'm about to shut it down. Because I got a conference tomorrow and then a 7-hour drive after that conference. You dig? Hell yeah, I kept my sunroof popped open because my car is smoked out. That shit got to air out something. Yeah, I like the new Ice Cube album. I like it better than the last one. All right, y'all. I'm out of here.